Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mining Now. I'm your host, Jared Downey. We're getting to the tail end of interviews at CIM. David asked me if I think you still thought I was losing my voice. I feel good.
You're a better man than I am.
Well, some years I've been very tired. We have a very good team this year. Not knocking the teams we've had other years. Not what I'm saying. But this year we had a couple great producers in, and it's been just a very relaxed production.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to dig into your company is Southern Innovation.
That's correct.
Yeah. And that's the first segment. On the second segment, so David Scoullar is CEO and Managing Director of Southern Innovation. Then our second guest is going to be Fabian Kohlmann. Fabian, I hope I'm saying your name right. The Managing Director at Lithodat. So that'll be in the second half of the interview. So stick around for that. David, let's just start with Southern Innovation. Who are they? Were you the founder?
One of the founders, yes.
Okay.
So it's a I guess a little bit of a long story. We've been around for a while.
Time.
It was founded based on some research that my brother was doing into humanitarian landmine detection. So he's the brains, and he found a new way of analyzing using radiation to find landmines in the ground.
Why was he doing that?
Well, we grew up overseas in lots of different third world countries. My father worked for the United Nations.
I see.
And it was something that we came across as kids and young adults. And he looked at it and he said, we should be able to do this better.
Wow. Okay. This is not the backstory I was expecting from
No,
him.
no.
So how old is he when he started doing that?
So that was through his university studies and into his PhD.
Wow.
That turned into Southern Innovation. So we commercialized the technology out of the university back in sort of 2004, 2005.
Wow. And
so yes, almost 20 years to the day.
I don't do the math that quick. I wasn't even trying to figure that out. And so you went into business together then on that?
Yeah. So I helped him out. I was working in the city in Melbourne in a corporate finance job. So my side of things is a lot more finance focused, shareholders focused, and he's got the technology. So we complement each other quite well.
What's the dynamic like?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. We're brothers, so every now and again it gets a little bit awkward.
Who's
for
the older one?
Our chief operating officer.
Yeah,
I should show you a picture and ask you the question. No, it's me. It's me by about 18 months.
So you're pretty much always right then.
It's a technical company.
Yeah.
So I stopped pretending that I was right the day I walked through the door.
And then what are your primary products right now?
So we make scanning products for the mining industry. And how that came about is because, in the mining industry, as you're probably well aware, grades are declining, and ore bodies are getting to greater depths, right? So harder to extract. So making decisions around what is ore and what is waste becomes critical, not only from an optimization of the commercial return for the company, but to minimize the energy used in mining. So we did a landscape of the technologies out there. We looked at all the different mining companies, but also the companies servicing the mining industry, and said, how can we create value for those end users of these products by making it a more efficient process? And we were lucky enough back in sort of 2015, 2016 to get very strong support from the industry. And in particular at that time, BHP and now with many other customers to co-develop these scanning products with industry.
Wow.
And so what that has turned into is two products that are relevant in the mining industry. We have other products elsewhere. But in the mining industry, that's a cross-belt scanner. And I think the easiest way to think about that is whenever you go to the airport, you go through and put your hand luggage through a baggage scanner. So it uses very similar technology. Our technology is higher resolution, it's more penetrative, and it's more robust because it's in the mining industry. And we put that on a conveyor belt to help our customers make decisions in real time about the material on that belt and whether it's ore or waste.
So this is tied to ore sorting then?
Yeah.
Is what you're doing.
So this enables bulk ore sorting at run-of-mine rates. So we're making that ore versus waste decision 20 times a second.
Wow.
So we don't have to accumulate information for minutes. We're making that decision 20 times a second.
Let's talk about our Heavy Industry World Tour, brought to you by Savannah Equipment, supplying mining equipment worldwide. We are heading to events across North America and Australia and filming episodes on location. Email us at info@crownsman.com to be part of Crownsman's Heavy Industry World Tour. Orica Digital Solutions seamlessly connects customers' physical and digital worlds so they can readily understand and optimize operations at every step of the value chain, from exploration to processing. BlastIQ is an innovative platform which transforms how drill and blast data is used to unlock mining value. BlastIQ provides easy access to historical and key performance indicators that drive continuous improvements, enhance productivity, and reduce the overall cost of operations. To learn more about BlastIQ and how it can support your operations, visit orica.com/BlastIQ. CIM is Canada's leading technical institute dedicated to the sustainability of our industry. Members enjoy professional growth opportunities through CIM libraries, publications, webinars, societies, and the job board. Experience the CIM community firsthand at the Conference of Metallurgists, August 19th to 22nd, ICARD, September 16th to 20th, and the CIM Health and Safety Conference, October 6th to 8th. Visit CIM.org for more information and join CIM today.
In that design, then, who are you working with on? Are you working with companies that are providing the ore sorting services, or
we're working directly with the mining companies.
Oh, okay.
So they know their operations best.
Yeah.
They know where to locate our capability. We give them a feed from our capability directly into their data inflow, and we can link that capability to the ore sorting service that they want to use down the track, whether that's a flop gate or a belt splitter. A lot of those capabilities exist out there already.
Right. Okay. So it's just,
or we can white box the whole thing for a customer, and we can provide that service too.
What would be an example of that?
So, for example, in one application, which is in an industry, and I can't really mention the commodity, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
But it's up in Queensland. There's an existing sorting capability that hasn't been used. So what they want us to do is to promote to them the right sorting capability, which in this case will probably be a belt splitter, integrate that with our Gradescan sensor, belt scanner, and allow them to make the decision about how to sort that material. So essentially they set a cutoff grade and they say, if it doesn't meet this grade, we don't want to process that material. We want to discard it before sending it through a wash plant. And that's important because as seams of high-grade material get narrower and narrower, sometimes you get overcutting or undercutting of the seam, and you get gang or waste material onto the conveyor belt. And in some cases, that goes directly to a train, right? So there might not be a processing facility at all. So what we're able to do is allow people to maintain grade as those seams get deeper and narrower.
Right. Yeah, I got it described to me once. It was like when with the ore sorting, because your capacity stays the same.
Yeah.
So your productivity it can skyrocket. I mean, there's case studies of it just being insane what they're able to accomplish with it. And I think the other thing important to cover, there's obviously the capacity increase, but then there's also the waste.
Yeah,
that's a big thing.
Absolutely. So there's fully utilizing the capacity in the processing facility. So choosing what goes in there rather than potentially having waste going through that facility. Yeah. And then really importantly, you want to minimize the wet tailings. So bulk ore sorting really enables dry sorting of ore. And that means not only are you fully utilizing your processing facility, but you can optimize the use of a tailings dam if you have to use one, and ideally minimize the use of wet tailings.
Yeah.
Capital Limited are a leading global mining services provider with expertise across the entire mining value chain. Their end-to-end services include exploration and production drilling, in-surface and underground operations, load and haul, as well as assay laboratories. For 20 years, they have delivered best-in-class safety performance, professionalism, and reliability to customers worldwide. Capital have recently expanded into the Americas, where they continue to deliver the highest standards of excellence in mining services. Learn more at capdrill.com. Attention builders, we've got everything you need to know about the grit and grind of the construction world in one show. The Construction Show is where you can share your expert techniques and strategies to help keep the crew strong and construction sites secure. From foundational tips, industry trends, safety strategies to advanced equipment and machinery. Be part of the voice of construction. Book your episode and showcase your company to millions worldwide. Visit crownsman.com.
Now, these where is your reach? Are you doing business all over the world?
Well,
Or trying to?
with other products, we're doing business all over the world. So we have a product in the synchrotron market of all things, and I was delighted to see one of our customers here, which was a bit of a surprise for us. But in the mining sector, we've been very focused historically on Australia.
Okay.
We've had a lot of support from large Australian mining companies to develop their product to a point where they're actually ready for expansion overseas. And part of that was working on two main commodities. So coking coal used for the production of steel, but also iron ore. And Australia has obviously a large amount of iron ore. And then a potential customer asked us to take a look at potash to see whether we could differentiate potash from the salt or the clay that surrounds potash. So we got samples, we processed them in our facility in Melbourne. It turns out we're very good at it. So we then came out to Canada, had a look around. We went to PDAC last year, we went to PDAC this year, and we met through a referral from one of our existing customers, a group called Rockford Engineering Works, who are based out of Regina with an office in Saskatoon. And so we got to know those guys, and we've recently, back in November of last year, formed a great relationship with them that is formalized. And so they're now able to provide installation, service, and support to our customers in Canada. But for us, that's the big first step out of Australia. And it's done in a very careful way because you only get one opportunity to make a first impression in mining.
Right, yeah.
And so we have to prove up using our facility in Melbourne, but ultimately we'll replicate that facility here, that we can sort the materials that our customer wants us to sort. And then we talk about installations in their mine sites.
So
to decrease installation risk.
So you're sorting what? Oh, like you're doing like a test facility?
Yeah. So they'll send material to us and they'll say, we want to be able to distinguish these 3 or 5 or 7 or 10 materials from each other. Can you do that? And so we'll do some work for them in our facility in Melbourne and ultimately probably in Regina.
Yeah.
And on the basis of our reporting back to them as to whether we can or cannot sort that material, then they'll make decisions about whether they want to install our equipment in their facilities.
Wow.
So we're very focused on, de-risking it technically and de-risking it operationally for our customers.
Yeah. So when did that partnership is fairly?
That was formalized in November of last year.
Oh, wow. And are you getting some traction out of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So as part of the formalization process, we went to visit some of Rockford's big name customers in the potash sector. And that was a great experience for me. And then we came back to PDAC earlier this year, met more customers, and being here at CIM has been fantastic.
It's been good?
Yeah, it's been good.
And Vancouver's not a bad city either.
Oh, man. Vancouver I'd never actually spent time here, like downtown in Vancouver. And, I'm biased. I live in Melbourne. I was born in New South Wales. I think Sydney's the most beautiful city in the world. Maybe not the easiest to get around,
but our coffee's better.
But Vancouver can punch in that league, right?
But our coffee's better, right?
Your coffee's better than Sydney. It's nowhere near as good as Melbourne.
I thought you were going to say. I was like, hey, okay, don't say that because everybody knows that's not true.
Well, better than some parts of Sydney, anyway.
Well, the Aussies have been, they've been crapping on our coffee. When they come over here.
That's just unkind.
Well,
you know what most mothers say. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Well, I'm saying it about here. So apparently Starbucks failed twice trying to get into Melbourne, I think.
They eventually got there, but their footprint's not very big.
Yeah, I think it's okay to poke fun at Starbucks. I think they're fine. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
I drink them every day, so I'm a contributor. So then, I just wanted, before I let you go, so what about Drillscan? Is that
it's important to talk about the two different ways that we deploy this X-ray transmitting spectroscopy technology, and the innards are the same. But if you think of a baggage scanner and you flip it vertically and attach it to a drill rig, we're able to analyze the cuttings that come out of reverse circulation drilling again in real time. And what that allows our customers to do is to make dynamic drilling decisions. So rather than saying to their drilling contractors, go and drill a 50-meter hole here and a 200-meter hole there, based on their understanding of the ore body, they can say, we're expecting to hit the ore in say 5 meters, and we expect the band to be 40 meters thick. If they haven't hit the ore body 20 meters down, they might make a dynamic decision to pull out that drill rod and move to the next hole. Conversely, if they're in an ore body and they expect to get through it, but they haven't, they can put more rods on the drill rig, and they can much better, much more accurately define where the ore is in 3 dimensions. And as people are having to make faster and faster drilling decisions, and people are double shifting their drill rigs, they don't really have the time to get that information back from labs. What we're doing to facilitate the process is giving them that ore grade in real time.
Is that coming? Is Rockford helping with that? Put that in the market?
They will.
Yeah,
they
okay.
will, because Drillscan, if you think about it, is just a pipe through which material is flowing.
Right.
And in potash, you can use it for drilling applications, but you can also use it for applications where the material is flowing through a pipe, like a brine or a slurry.
Yeah.
And so with Rockford and with some of Rockford's customers, we're investigating those opportunities too.
Before I let you go, I also wanted to ask about, I always say it's going to ask like 3 more questions, but we kind of reference Canada, but our show is actually more audience in the US.
Yeah, okay.
So what about the US market?
Yeah, so again, Rockford has great connections in the US market as well.
Okay, so it's going to them as well.
Yeah, they have a facility in Ohio. And yeah, they'll bring us opportunities in the North American market as well. They might not bring us all the opportunities we have, because outside of mining, we've got some incredible opportunities as well. So we're presenting to NASA next week in San Jose.
Oh, really?
We're working with large brand name medical imaging companies to improve their capabilities in CT imaging. So there's a whole lot of things we're doing outside of mining, but this is not mining and everything else now. This is mining now. So just talking about what we do.
Yeah, you're speaking. Crownsman produces what? The construction show, building energy, agriculture now. So we produce a few different series.
Yeah, okay. When you're producing NASA now, come and talk to us.
Well, if you got a connection there, I mean, I promise this is my last question. Is it still fun? How long have you been working with your brother? It's kind of a special thing.
Yeah. So we started the business 2004. I moved over full time in 2008. So yeah, it's 16 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm still enjoying it. You know, you end up enjoying it more when you come out, you talk about it in places like this.
Yes.
And you get out of the reeds and you look at the scale of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. So.
Well, yeah, I find it the same for me. I'll do a lot of events I don't even come to. I'm in a studio with a producer on site, and I'm interviewing people from there. When I come here, it's just, well, I think you see it.
There's a buzz, right?
Yeah, and it's just enjoyable. So, David, thank you very much for coming on the show. I hope you enjoyed it.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, sir.
Cheers.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. We're going to now bring on Fabian. I keep hoping I'm saying Fabian Kohlmann right. That will be the next guest on the second segment. Fabian, welcome to the show. I'm saying it Kohlmann. I know that is not the right. You're saying it's fine, but I would like to get it right. How do you say your last name properly?
You can pronounce it Kohlmann, but Kohlmann works. Yeah. Everyone calls me that. I'm fine.
Okay, fair enough. As long as you're okay with it. Tell me about Lithodat.
Yeah, we are a Melbourne-based digital company. So we provide cloud data services. We try to make the life easier. You know, digitalization is a big thing everywhere.
Yeah.
And in Australia, within the mine tech company industry, we are a bit on the forefront of developing new technologies. So that's where we come in, and we help breaking silos. A lot of data is siloed, you know, different projects using sometimes the same type, but they have different IDs, different names. You end up with duplicates, and there's a lot of efficiency lost. So we provide a data platform, cloud hosted, where we standardize all the data. We bring all the data in together in one place and make it then easily usable for our clients. And it works. It's all sitting in a relational database in the back, and that makes it really easy accessible for the clients, because we have an open API which they can connect to any other softwares they want. And
I see.
So we're not doing the interpretation, but we simplify and make the whole data handling more efficient.
How did you get into that space?
Oh, look, I worked many years in the oil and gas company industry back in the UK, and we started building big database there for our big national and international oil companies. And they have the problem since years, yeah. And then we saw the need in the mining industry. They are usually technology-wise always a little bit behind the oil and gas. And yeah, that's why we thought, look, we offer that service now here. That's how we started Lithodat, to provide the industry with some solutions which make their life easier and more efficient.
What can you paint a picture? Sometimes when we're talking about like technology or data collection or data distribution, it gets to be it's hard to put it in real world scenario. So if they're not using Lithodat, what would be like what's the gap? Where did you see it?
Yeah, if you still look, you're still shocked seeing how many companies are still using Excel sheets, and that they're way to go for a lot of their data stuff. And then people start, okay, they load their data in, because we use spatial data, and then they put it in GIS systems, and then it's a combination then between GIS and between other softwares you have. So it's really you wrangling around your data, you're wrangling around your files.
Yeah.
So that's where we provide one solution, which is then one database, and you can put all kind of data in, as long as we have a data model developed for it. And then that makes the whole workflow much easier for the clients to use. You find your data easier.
Do you run into challenges where, well, it's the way we've always done it? Do you still run into that?
Oh, yeah, of course. A lot of people are still that, we have always done it that way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of convincing, and we need to build the trust.
Yeah.
So we have an advantage. We work a lot with government. So we have 80% of our clients are current, actually governments. We worked with Natural Resources Canada as well.
Okay.
So we help them modernizing their systems partly, and helping them getting mining data, looking for new or available data, and increase their.
Do you find people are over, in a way though, they're like almost overwhelmed because there's so many options out there? It's almost like the Excel spreadsheet becomes a safe place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one thing, and it's then people are really driven by all the buzzwords out there. It's big data, it's digital twin,
Yeah.
And then people start panicking, and it's you need to take a bit out the buzz and make it really show people how things work, and
how it's going to work for
them. Exactly,
for them.
because every client has a different solution, has different requirements which you need to fulfill. But the advantage of having the data standardized means they can then, whatever units or formats or lat longs they want, it can be converted and streamed out using an API where you just map to the different needs of the clients.
What does onboarding look like though? Like it's, and this is one of you, like I personally struggle with it because there's these great platforms out there. And obviously you've got the client book to show how effective you are, but what should the expectation be if you're coming into an organization and they're onboarding? I'll give you an example. There's a company that focuses on safety, and their onboarding it takes years. Essentially, it's a whole shift in culture. It's unbelievable the success they have, but it has to be real commitment from the company to do it. What is that onboarding process like if they're bringing on Lithodat?
I mean, it's mainly first getting a group together of subject matter experts from them who really are familiar with the data types they have, then show them the advantages compared to the systems or how they use it, and then show how our data can still be used in their systems or their software they use and to process the data. And we have some meetings, we do online meetings, we go to the clients and bring the groups together and have workshops and get them up to speed. And once people know how to use it, they realize straight away it's much easier.
Much easier. What would like a major onboard? How long would it take?
Not really long. I think after a 1-day workshop, you should be able to use
really? Okay.
already quite good.
Does it also depend on how well organized their spreadsheets are?
Of course.
No.
I mean, for us to bring the data in, that's a different story. But then to make people use the data is a different way.
You were mentioning to me there's a video that you've got. I don't think it's done at the time of this video, but I just kind of want to play it for the audience to see it. But can you sort of walk us through some of what's going to be in it, sort of a visual of what people are
doing? We show you some examples, some of the data we have here in Australia and in Canada, especially some geochemistry data where we can easily bring it on a map, can analyze it. We have dashboards on the fly, and then that data can be exported to IOGAS. But that's not our business.
Yeah.
We provide just the data which they put in. So we show that. We have dashboards because all the data is interactive. We can show 3D, so you have a bit understanding how your mine looks, or where your deposits are, or how accessible the area is you're going to explore. And we also will show some of the minting, as we PIDs is a big thing, persistent identifiers. So we are the only commercial entity who can mint IGSNs. That stands for International Generic Sample Numbers. So that means, any assay, any sample you take, you can mint a persistent identifier. Means that you create a digital twin, which then stays forever with that sample. But you can keep your naming and your numbering, but you have no more duplicates, because that is a unique number which stays with every sample.
Wow. What have you? Is there any recent projects like? We get a huge audience in the U.S. and in Australia and that, but we're in Canada, so we might as well. Any examples of
Canadian data?
Canadian data.
Oh yeah, we have. For example, we take a lot of the public available data and clean that and standardize that. Yeah. So we have implemented in our system the whole public available geochem data from British Columbia, but also from Ontario. So you have a really dense network of samples. So we got them from the surveys, but that data can be accessed in our platform as well than from our client.
What's the expansion look like into the US and Canadian market?
Yeah, that's where we're on. As I said, we work with government here, but we have some keen interest already from some mid-size and junior mining companies in Canada. We hope to get more clients here, especially also on a local scale, where we provide solutions to help people handle their exploration data.
What's the challenge for trying to get into a market like this?
You need to build trust. It's always that. And I mean, if I compare the Australian mining industry compared to what's going on here in Canada, it's a challenge I see is the Australian miners are more open for new technologies, for clouds and things. So
there's a Australia comes our client base in Australia is just, they're unbelievable. And I truly mean unbelievable. They want to know what the stats are, they want to know what the value is, and then they want to get it done. It's fantastic. We do an Australian mining tour. Our little company sends people over to do a tour of the mining world in Australia, because it's just so fantastic. Where's that culture coming out of? Bring it here, please. No, there's a lot of innovation coming out here. But Canadians have a conservatism about them. We had someone on the show today. They went to say, we're going to be number one, and they stopped. And they are going to be number one, but it's like almost not Canadian to say it. Where is that this passion for adopting new technology coming out of? Where do you see it coming out?
I think it must come from the mindset, the Australian mindset we have in Australia, that we are isolated, so we want to do things really well and as efficient and as good as possible. And I think that's where the drive for new things and for innovation is.
That isolation sort of creates like a need. Like we got to keep talking. We got to figure this out. Nobody's coming here to help us, right? Yeah. I also have another theory. When you get good weather for more of the time, you can play around with stuff more. We have about 6 months of the year we just need to survive. We just need to live.
We don't got polar bears and grizzlies, but we got a lot of poisonous animals in Australia.
Yeah, no, you don't want to go to a hike barefoot in Australia. Are you pretty optimistic about the North American market for you? Oh.
Absolutely, I think so. Again, as you said, it's a bit more conservative, so you have to convince people a bit more. But I think once people start seeing what we do and see the solution and the potential, there is a big chance, and I think it's a no-brainer not doing it and adopting these new technologies. And
last question: any big plans after? When do you head back?
We're heading back on Thursday, but we're going down to Mexico first, meeting some clients, and then
on Thursday. You're leaving now?
Tomorrow.
So Wednesday. It's a quick trip.
Today?
Today's Tuesday.
Let's redo that.
We corrected on the show.
No, we're flying on Thursday out. Today is Tuesday.
Oh, you're flying out to
To
Mexico on
Mexico on
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
I
And,
got
and
you.
then we fly back on a week later.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you would just. I was like,
No,
wow,
no,
that
no, that would be
you
too
do not mess.
intense. No.
That's why Australia is
No,
doing
no,
so
no.
well. It's that type of work ethic. Fabian, great to have you on. We talked 6 months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
had a
chatted
chat.
about you being on the show. Now here we are. So great.
In Canada
to have you.
again.
Yep.
Thanks
And
for
in
having
person. That would have been a remote. This one's in person. It's
me.
perfect.
Even better.
Worked out. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
And thank you everybody for watching. Of course, check out Fabian's. We've got your LinkedIn. We put that on. People
Yeah.
can connect directly with you. We have the Lithodat website and the LinkedIn. So follow them on there as well. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you on the next episode of Mining Now.